Ever pondered how secure your online data is? In our modern world, the digital landscape is not just growing, it's exploding. We're on a technology high-speed train, barreling towards a future filled with smart devices, artificial intelligence, and virtual realities. But as we ride this train, we must ask ourselves, what's the price of progress? Cybersecurity, once a fringe concern, has now become a necessity. Our personal information, sensitive data, and even our identities are up for grabs if we're not careful. And let's not forget about businesses, where a single data breach can spell disaster. There's a slew of security models out there, each with its own pros and cons. Firewalls, intrusion detection systems, encryption, they all play a part. But as technology evolves, so too must our defenses. We need something robust, something dynamic, something that doesn't grant trust by default. In this digital age, one model stands out among the rest: Zero Trust Cybersecurity. But what exactly is Zero Trust Cybersecurity? Well, picture this. Imagine a castle with a high wall and a single guarded entrance. Traditional cybersecurity is like this castle. Anyone inside is considered a friend, while outside everyone's an enemy. But what if a foe sneaks in? That's where Zero Trust Cybersecurity comes into play. Zero Trust Cybersecurity abandons the castle and moat model. It operates on the principle of never trust, always verify. It's like a vigilant gatekeeper questioning everyone, whether inside or outside the castle. It doesn't matter if you're a loyal knight or a visiting dignitary, you're subject to verification. Now let's break this down. Zero trust sounds harsh, right? But in the cyber world, it's a necessity. This approach doesn't automatically trust anything or anyone, whether inside or outside an organization's network. Every access request is thoroughly scrutinized, regardless of where it originates from or what resource it seeks. This is a stark contrast from traditional security models, which assume everything inside an organization's network is safe. In those models, once you're past the castle walls, you're free to roam. But what if a trusted insider turns rogue, or an external attacker breaches the perimeter? That's where traditional models fall short. Zero Trust, on the other hand, takes no chances. It continuously authenticates and authorizes every request, treating each one as a potential threat. It's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. It's like having a bodyguard who doesn't let their guard down, even for a second. And here's the kicker. Zero Trust isn't just about people. It extends to machines, networks, and data. It ensures that every piece of information, every device, and every user is verified and validated before access is granted. It's a 360-degree security approach, leaving no stone unturned. In essence, Zero Trust Cybersecurity operates on a skeptical approach, questioning everything. It's a mindset, a philosophy that ensures the bad guys can't get in, and if they do, they can't get out. It's about making sure that when it comes to security, there's no room for trust, only verification. You may be wondering, why should I adopt a Zero Trust approach? Well, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Zero Trust Cybersecurity offers immense benefits, and it's time we shed light on them. Firstly, Zero Trust is proactive, not reactive. Traditional security models operate on the outdated notion of trust but verify. They react to threats after they've penetrated the system. In contrast, Zero Trust operates under the principle of never trust, always verify. This means it constantly validates the legitimacy of all attempts to access the network, thereby preempting any potential threats. Secondly, Zero Trust significantly limits the extent of breaches. In a conventional security system, once an attacker gets past the perimeter defenses, they have free rein to roam around and access sensitive data. However, Zero Trust mitigates this risk through micro-segmentation. This method divides the network into smaller, isolated sections, each protected with its own security parameters. Even if an attacker manages to breach one segment, the damage is contained within that segment, preventing a full-blown network compromise. And lastly, Zero Trust is especially effective in today's remote work environment. As we've shifted from office-based to home-based workstations, the number of endpoints has skyrocketed, expanding the attack surface for cybercriminals. Zero Trust ensures that every device, every user, and every network flow is authenticated and verified, no matter where they originate from. This makes it a potent strategy for securing remote workforces. In essence, Zero Trust is about assuming no trust and verifying everything. It's about understanding that threats can come from anywhere, inside or outside the network, and taking steps to verify every single request as if it originates from an open network. It's a shift from trusting everything behind the corporate firewall to trusting nothing, regardless of where it originates. So the real question is not why you should adopt a zero trust approach, but how quickly you can do so. Because in an era where cyber threats are increasingly sophisticated and damaging, zero trust is not just a model, it's a mindset that can drive better security outcomes. Now that you understand the why, let's discuss the how. Implementing a zero trust model isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process, a journey that requires careful planning and execution. Let's break it down into manageable steps. First, you need to establish a robust identity verification process. In a zero trust model, every user, every device, and every system must be authenticated and verified before gaining access. No trust is granted by default. So you need to ensure that your authentication methods are strong, and multi-factor authentication is a must. Next, we have the concept of micro-segmentation. This involves breaking your network down into smaller, isolated segments. In the traditional network model, once an attacker bypasses the perimeter, they have free reign. Not so with zero trust. Each segment is its own fortified castle. Even if an attacker breaches one segment, they are still locked out of the others. Lastly, you can't forget about analytics. In a zero trust model, you need to continuously monitor and analyze network traffic. You're looking for anomalies, patterns that could indicate a breach. This isn't just about catching attackers, it's also about understanding your network's normal behavior. The more you understand, the better you can protect. Now let's be clear. Implementing zero trust is not an easy task. It requires a shift in mindset, a departure from the traditional perimeter-based security model, but the benefits are worth it. With zero trust, you're not just reacting to threats, you're proactively preventing them. Also, it's important to remember that zero trust is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Every organization is different, with different needs and different risks. Your zero trust model must be tailored to fit your organization, your users, and your data. So take the time to plan, to understand your network, your users, and your data. Only then can you start to build your zero trust model. Remember, implementing zero trust is a journey, not a destination. However, no model comes without its share of challenges. Indeed, the journey to zero trust is not without its bumps in the road. One of the primary hurdles is the need for a significant cultural shift. In traditional security models, trust is implicit within the network. The shift to zero trust, where no user or device is trusted by default, can be a tough pill to swallow for many. It requires organizations to fundamentally rethink their approach to cybersecurity, necessitating a shift in mindset from the boardroom to the server room. Next up, we have the technical challenges. Implementing zero trust requires a comprehensive understanding of the organization's IT infrastructure, including the complex interplay of devices, users, applications, and data. It's not as simple as flipping a switch. It involves deploying new technologies like micro-segmentation, multi-factor authentication, and identity and access management solutions. These technologies need to be seamlessly integrated into the existing IT environment, which can be a daunting task. Moreover, zero trust is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of model. It requires continuous monitoring and improvement. The cybersecurity landscape is ever-evolving, and so must be our defenses. This means constantly evaluating and adjusting the zero trust model as per the changing threat environment and business needs. This ongoing commitment can be challenging, especially for organizations with limited resources. And let's not forget the potential for pushback. Change, especially one as fundamental as this, often meets resistance. It's crucial to effectively communicate the reasons and benefits of this shift to all stakeholders, from top management down to the individual users, to ensure buy-in and smooth implementation. Despite these challenges, it is important to keep in mind that the journey to zero trust is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about building a more secure future for the organization, a goal that justifies the effort required. Despite these challenges, the benefits of zero trust far outweigh the hurdles. Indeed, with the right strategy and persistence, organizations can successfully navigate these challenges and reap the benefits of a robust and resilient cybersecurity posture. So, is zero trust the future of cybersecurity? We've traversed the concept of zero trust, delving deep into its core principles. We've understood that it's not about trusting nothing, but verifying everything. It's about granting access strictly based on the need-to-know principle and continually evaluating trust. We've highlighted the benefits of Zero Trust, how it bolsters security by reducing the attack surface and minimizing the potential damage from breaches. We've also shed light on its implementation, emphasizing the importance of taking a holistic approach. However, we've also acknowledged the challenges. It's not a plug-and-play solution. It requires a paradigm shift, a change in mindset, and a robust strategy. But despite these challenges, could Zero Trust be the answer to your cybersecurity needs? In the evolving digital landscape, Zero Trust could be the key to unlocking a safer future. So consider it, ponder over it, and remember, in cybersecurity, it's always better to be safe than sorry.